I managed to build a strategy with ChatGPT that made over 500% in the backtest. The strategy is based on the Supertrend and ATR indicator, and as you can see, the strategy enters into extremely profitable positions. In today's video, I'll be showing you exactly how this strategy was built so that you can also create this strategy, or you can use the guidelines shown in this video to create your own profitable strategy. To make sure that the strategies you create are profitable and do not contain errors, make sure you watch the full video so that you don't miss critical points. Now that we have gotten that out of the way, let's start. Since we want to create a strategy based on the Supertrend indicator, let's first search for this indicator on TradingView. Navigate to the Indicator Search tab and search for the Supertrend indicator. However, since we want to make a strategy, search for the Supertrend strategy. Select the indicator made by TradingView and add it to the chart. Now let's first take a look at the results of the strategy. As you can see, the strategy profited about 99% with a 40% win rate. If we take a look at the performance, we can see that the longs were a lot more profitable than the shorts that were taken. The profit factor is around 1.4 with an average profit of 2% per trade. Keeping this in mind, let's try to improve the win rate and increase the average profit per trade to make it extremely profitable with ChatGPT. To do this, we will need to access the strategy code so that we can use it with ChatGPT. To access the code, hover over the indicator and click on the source code button. Now click on the Make a Script Copy button so that we can modify and copy the script. Now we can change some basic settings. Let's first change the name of the script. After that, let's change the default quantity value to 50. That was all that we needed to do. Now let's copy the code and head over to ChatGPT. ChatGPT is a free AI-based chatbot that can generate code or write text based on user input. So let's first ask ChatGPT what can be done to make the strategy more profitable. As you can see, ChatGPT provides multiple solutions to make the strategy more profitable. The first solution suggests adding an extra indicator to confirm exit and entry signals. The second solution advises us to integrate a risk management technique into the strategy. The other solutions are based on the asset you trade on. However, the seventh solution it provides sounds very promising. Adding a volatility indicator to the strategy to avoid entering when the market is ranging seems like a good idea. Now we can ask ChatGPT to provide good volatility indicators that we can add to the strategy. We see here that ChatGPT has recommended using either the ATR or Bollinger Bands indicator as the volatility filter for the strategy. So let's ask it to make two different scripts, where one uses the ATR and the other the Bollinger Bands. After taking a closer look at the provided output, we can see that the strategy, which includes the Bollinger Bands, is incomplete and missing the square brackets. This can mean that other parts of the code may not be correct. If you are a beginner, it may be hard to solve these errors, so let's ignore this output and test the ATR strategy. But before that, if you are looking for a broker that has extremely low commissions and spreads, then check out HenkoTrade. The best broker to trade Forex, indices, commodities, or crypto. They have live chat support so that any questions you may have can be quickly and easily answered. One of HenkoTrade's most prominent promotional offers is the matching deposit bonus that can be claimed when you open an account with HenkoTrade. Sign up via the link in the description to register with HenkoTrade and get access to all of these perks. Let's now copy the output provided by ChatGPT and paste it into the TradingView code tab. Once you have done that, change the equity again and save the code. After that, click on the Add to Chart button. The chart looks very weird. This is because of the last line of code, so let's remove it and save the script again. Now we can see that the chart looks a lot better. Now let's take a look at the results that this strategy provides. The strategy is already very profitable. However, I think we can make the strategy even more profitable by adding some extra conditions before entering into a position. So let's ask ChatGPT what we can do to make the strategy even more profitable. We get an answer very similar to the previous one. To get a more detailed answer, let's ask for specific indicators that are good to pair with the Supertrend indicator. The first indicator it recommends are moving average indicators, so let's now ask what type of moving averages would be good to use. Right away, I notice the DEMA. This indicator is also known as the double exponential moving average. This indicator is similar to the EMA, however, the DEMA aims to reduce lag. So let's add this indicator to the strategy. To do this, head over to TradingView and search for the DEMA indicator. Select the indicator made by TradingView and add it to the chart. Now click on the source code button. After this, copy the indicator code. Now we can paste this code into ChatGPT as a reference. First, we will ask it to integrate the DEMA into the current strategy. After that, paste the code of the DEMA. Now let's take a look at the output it generates. We can see ChatGPT has integrated the DEMA into the strategy. Now copy the code ChatGPT has provided and paste it into TradingView. We will need to make some small changes again. Currently, according to the script, the price needs to be trading below the DEMA for us to enter into a buy position, and the price will need to be above the DEMA to enter into a sell position. This isn't correct, so let's change this so that we take trades with the trend. That was all that we needed to do. Now let's change the settings. We will be changing the ATR length to 20 and the DEMA length to 200. All of the other settings will be changed to the previously used ones. Now let's take a look at the results. Immediately we see that the strategy has become a lot better. Let's put the results side by side and compare the old and new strategies. The newer strategy is now making a lot more profit than before, even though we take fewer trades. Because of this, we see that the average profit per trade has gone up to 8%. The win rate of the strategy has also increased a bit. However, the max drawdown of the strategy has become very high at nearly 50%. To make the strategy more stable, we will need to increase the win rate and lower the maximum drawdown. To make these changes, let's incorporate one of the methods previously mentioned by ChatGPT. According to ChatGPT, using a risk management technique such as setting stop-loss orders could increase profitability. So let's ask which indicator or method we can best use to do this. Among the results, we spot an indicator we previously used, which is the ATR. The ATR can also be used as a dynamic take profit and stop-loss level. This is the case with the ATR bands, which we have showcased in previous videos. So let's get the code from this indicator and add it to the strategy to complete it. Search for the ATR bands indicator and select the indicator made by Alexander T. Now head over to the indicator source code so that we can copy it. As you can see, the indicator was made with version 3. This means that we will have to update it. To do this, we will first need to make a copy of the script. Now click on the 3 dots and update the script to version 4. Now repeat this to update it to version 5. Now that the script is fully updated, we can head back to ChatGPT. Paste the code into the Input tab along with the request. We will be asking ChatGPT to integrate the ATR bands into the strategy. The result looks good, however, I can see some minor mistakes that we will need to fix. To do this, let's copy the code and paste it into TradingView. Now let's fix up the code. First, let's change the settings back to the settings we previously used. After that, we will be adding an individual take profit and stop loss for the short and long positions. ChatGPT didn't add a strategy exit function, so we will also be adding these to the code. In the strategy exit function, we will pass the stop loss and take profit values we previously specified. This will allow the strategy to exit once price closes below or above an ATR band. Finally, we will add the close all function to the strategy. This means that if a buy or sell condition has been met, the previous positions will be closed. That was all that we needed to do. If you are not sure how to write the code, don't worry, you can find the code for the strategy in the Discord server in the description. Now let's take a look at the results of the strategy. However, many traders are not familiar with code, so let me give a quick summary of how the strategy works. To enter into a buy position, we will first need for the Supertrend to switch to an uptrend. Secondly, we will need to check the DEMA. The price will need to be trading above the 200 period DEMA. Lastly, we will check the ATR. We will need to make sure that the ATR is above 5. If this is the case, all of the conditions have been met and we will enter into the buy position. We will place the stop loss at the lower ATR band. For the take profit, we will target the upper ATR band. Remember that if the conditions for a new buy or sell position have been met, then we will also close the position. For a sell position, the opposite will need to be true. Firstly, the supertrend will need to switch to a bearish trend. Secondly, we will check the DEMA. The price will need to be trading below the 200-period DEMA. Finally, we will check the ATR. The value of the ATR will need to be above 5. If this is the case, this means that all of the conditions have been met, so we will enter into a sell position. We will place the stop loss at the upper ATR band. For the take profit, we will target the lower ATR band. Keep in mind that if the conditions to enter into a new buy or sell position have been met, we will also exit the position. We see that the strategy now performs a lot better. The strategy has a 60% win rate and makes an average of 3.61% per trade. The total gain did go down a bit, however, 203% is still very impressive. Along with this, the goals of lowering the max drawdown and increasing the win rate have been reached. If we were to change the percentage of equity per trade to 100%, the strategy would make around 600%. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned how you can use ChatGPT to make a simple strategy. Please remember that past results don't equal future results, and that this strategy was only made to demonstrate the use cases of ChatGPT. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the video.